The McNay Research Farm is south of Sheridan, and it would be comprised of, I believe, over 2,000 acres now.
Farmers from southeast Iowa gathered together for a day dedicated to their craft. Heyday at McNay, held at one of the many ISU research farms all over Iowa, was an event to showcase equipment and techniques aimed at helping farmers get the best out of their crops.
We generally do an annual field day here at the research farm, and for the last few years we've struggled a little bit with attendance, and some colleagues thought that this might be an idea to attract some more interest, to improve our attendance, and so we came up with an idea of, rather than just focusing on the farm here itself and the research projects here at the farm, we would try to cooperate with some implement dealers and surrounding vendors and try to come up with a little bit of a kind of a demonstration type field day.
Those in attendance were able to see live demonstrations of the equipment at work, with a question and answer session after each demonstration.
Especially with some of the newer pieces of equipment, producers can see kind of some of the new developments, the new technologies. One thing I think that comes up is tedding is not used all that much in my experience, and so it's an example of just being able to see that being done in the field and what that looks like and how it might actually spread out the hay to facilitate drying. In the mower conditioner example, we looked at two mowers that were very similar, except that one had steel rollers and one had rubber rollers, and so we could see the difference in how that affected the conditioning of the plants. So those things are always interesting. It helps people make informed decisions about the stuff that they buy to use on the farm.
The fall compared to how fast...
Education was also a focus, with a forage specialist available for questions, as well as providing a presentation over lunch.
Basically, hay management as a whole, all the way from preparing your soils with soil fertility, to insect pressure, really talking about that alfalfa, weevil, and potato leaf hopper, and also what kind of varieties and traits you can get for different hay production and what you should be thinking about. Your cutting schedule, whether you're looking for quality, yield, or persistence, and how those three kind of interact. And then also our cutting, what we go from mowing and conditioning, how do we get down to dry hay, how do we do that as quickly as possible while maintaining high quality without losing as much dry matter. And then at the end, our storage. Everything I just talked about, it's a lot of steps, takes a lot of time. How do we store that hay so that it lasts for a long time?
ISU has several of these facilities all over Iowa, built to research the best ways for Iowa farmers to be successful in each part of the state.
They're speckled throughout the state. People are doing research on the farms, and they host a lot of field days, so they can bring in people to show their research, put these demonstrations on like we're doing here today at the Hay Day, and really to explore research in different areas of Iowa, because not even Iowa is very diverse in different ways. Down in the south we have all these rolling hills, so something that's happening here may not work maybe in central Iowa, and so we want to have these different farms across so that we can really tailor the research to different areas.
Heyday at McNay is just one of the many great resources ISU provides for local farmers. For Ottumwa Radio, I'm Carl Davis.